All right, Miss Sandy. Citizens in Action Clark County here, and we are doing a very impromptu interview. Basically, it's about 9 o'clock at night on Monday the 9th. And you wanted to come on. We wanted to offer the platform because we have an important meeting coming up this Wednesday, the 11th, 9/11/24. And it's the Plan Commission. And the topic, one of the topics is going to be the solar ordinance, which you all have been working on. So just this is a very hot topic in Clark County. A lot of people are involved in, do we want these industrial solar projects coming to agricultural land? And through that process, which I'm not as up to speed as you are because you've been in it, you and your team have raised all kinds of awareness about this issue. And basically, it's kind of come to a point where you've been placed on a committee for specifically this issue.
Right.
Because our elected representatives felt like we needed to slow down a little bit. We needed some experts, if you will, on both sides kind of coming together and getting all the information so that we don't go too fast and potentially do something that we all regret or that we do improperly. If I'm explaining that correctly.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. I would
so
like to say thank you for not calling it a solar farm. So it is industrial solar. So,
Well, I'm not trying to be biased here, but yes, I do have a particular position on that, but we like to be open to both sides, but I don't think that they're farming anything. So yeah, we can agree there. But did I exclude anything about how this came to be? Now, I mean, this has been going on for a few months. How long have you been doing this?
you know what? We've been at this for over a year now. We were thinking about that because we were trying to come up with how long have we been, actively involved with this, and it's been over a year. So it's a long time. And I would say we formed this committee so we could get it right the first time, but obviously we're not on the first time. This will be the third time. So I just there's so much out there and so much to sink in and learn about this. It's overwhelming at times.
So the gist of it though is that there are industrial solar companies who are looking for residents to lease their land for agricultural or for on agricultural land, but to host these solar, not farms, but projects. But they will take a lot of acreage out of production. And we're not quite sure what it's going to do to the soil and to the surrounding environment and all that kind of thing. So there are some concerns. But these solar projects have not been built here yet because they have submitted proposals. Is that what you call them? Proposals or
An
bids?
application, I
Applications.
think is what
Okay.
yeah.
They've
And then
submitted.
yeah, and it
Go
went to
ahead.
BZA and then it got turned down at the BZA. And so there is no current applications in process right now. So I think we're just all kind of waiting until this committee gets done, and that's what's going to happen Wednesday. If you want me to go into a little bit of detail, I
Yeah.
think I think
Tell us about the
yeah,
importance of
yeah.
Wednesday.
So I think this is what's going to happen. I don't know really. I know that Brian is going to address the committee. Brian Glover, commissioner, he's on the committee with us, and so he's going to come up with a summary to talk about the things that we have agreed on and the things we haven't agreed on. And there was a few things that we actually, we could come to terms with. But of course, setback is the big hot topic, and that was not something that we're, going to be able to come to a decision on. They want one,
Let's
and
back up. So sorry to cut you off. Let's
that's okay.
back up just a second. Tell me, we've gotten, why the committee was created. Who's on the committee? I forgot to
Okay.
ask you that,
No,
just
that's
so
okay.
viewers are not confused.
That's okay. So we have Brian Glover as the commissioner, and he's the one that's been heading up the committee. We have Larry Bryson. He's on the Plan Commission board. We have Amy Williams. She's a consultant for the county. Eric Wise is there. He is the planning and zoning director now. We have three that are landowners who have leased with the solar companies, Max Zimmerman, Greg Hostetler, and Billy Miles. And then we have three of us that, and I don't want to say, everybody says, oh, these three are against solar. And I am not against solar. I just want it regulated. That's all. So it's me, Luann Staley, and Jerry Brooks. Both of those are farmers as well. So we've got a little bit of everything involved. I mean, there's, farmers and non-farmers and landowners. And so it's, we also have two members of solar companies. We have Amanda Hoffman from Orion and Jackson Daughtery from Bright Night are in the meetings too. So
Okay, so professionals in the field, people who stand to profit from these projects, and then we've got landowners and those that would like to tread carefully.
yes,
But ultimately, you're representing everybody in Clark County. So
yeah,
I
and
know
that's
you've tried to be very fair.
yeah, and that's really been hard for us. We have people, we did a survey, we sent out a survey, and we had hundreds of people, send back that survey. We talk to people all the time via emails, and we represent not only people like myself that I'm okay with solar. I'm fine. I just don't want it in my granddaughter's backyard. That's my big thing. And so, if it's set at a certain setback, I'm fine with it. But we also represent people in this county who don't want solar at all. So it's been really hard for us to try to find, when we talk to people, oh, give us 1,000 feet, give us 650, give us a mile. I mean, we've even heard that. So it's hard for us because we have that 650 right now. It's hard for us to compromise when, we have all of these people telling us, 650 is what we want, 1,000 is what we want. So
And that's the feet away from a
the
neighboring
dwelling,
property that maybe does
yes,
not want to
yeah,
participate. That's how many feet that you want the setback to be so that it
from the,
cannot be too close.
right, from their house. And that's not from the property line, that's from their house. So, it may only be 150 feet off their property line, but it's 650 feet away from their house. So that's the main, that has been the main topic since day one of this whole deal. So, and like I said, we just can't find that center, to come to. So, we're kind of like, we've made our stripe in the sand, and this is where we're at, and they've made theirs. So I think what my understanding is what'll happen now is that Brian will present this. And like I said, we did agree on a few things. So there's some stuff in there that we have agreed, and they agreed to. So it wasn't, I wouldn't say that it was not fruitful, because it was. But I think he'll present that. He'll present their side, our side, and then it'll be up to the plan commission to decide what they want to do from there. I guess they could vote. I don't know, Wednesday. They may table it. They may not. I'm not really sure what that process is going to be yet. So that's why it's just important, I think, for everybody to be there, to fill them seats up and let them know. So.
Because we're talking about the document that is the UDO, which is tell me what UDO stands for. I can't remember now.
Unified Development Ordinance.
Okay, so the ordinance, so it's the rules that these people are going to have to follow if they adopt one of these projects on their land.
Yes.
And it's been very heated. The meetings have been very full and have gone on hours at times. And basically, because our representatives, I think, have been protecting us. I mean, at least they didn't vote to approve it already.
Right. Right.
At one point, you all were calling for a moratorium, which would halt this project altogether. Like some places have a moratorium in place
Right.
till 2026 or something until we do a little
Yeah.
bit more study and that kind of thing. So we do not have anything as protective as a moratorium. But what we do have is this committee that was formed a few months ago.
Yes. I can't, I wasn't prepared for that question.
Yeah, a
We've had,
short time though.
yes, we've had 5 meetings, maybe 4. I'm
Okay.
not sure. I'd have to look that up. I can't, I've, yeah, they all run together.
Right. And people
Oh,
like us would love to be in those meetings, but we can't get in. This is a committee, so it's not open. It's not the same open door laws that regular meetings are. So unfortunately, the general public cannot get in to hear the conversation. So
mhm.
we just have to trust that everything happening behind these closed doors is going to be representative of, the majority of Clark County or something that's fair.
Yeah.
So then we have an ordinance in place, and you all got a 650-foot setback, which was
Yes.
good because that
Yes.
was a big improvement from what it was before. So currently in
Yes.
place is the 650-foot setback and some other protective things.
Right.
And so then it's been kicked over to this committee to kind of hash it out. And
Yes. Yes.
so Wednesday is going to be the fruit of the hash out, or
Yes.
the whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
The coordination. And so we really don't know for sure what's going to happen, but for people who care about this topic, they should be there. And I mean, it's not going to be final, because even if it goes to, okay, this is plan commission, even if, I mean, eventually it does have to go to the commissioners, right?
Right.
So
Right.
people will
Right.
have opportunity to be there and
Right.
participate, but it'd be great for people to be there all along the way.
Yes, yes, yes. And you were talking about the moratorium today. Just today, a group of us, there was 5 of us, and we went to Shelby County. And Shelby County currently has a moratorium on solar right now, but they also have a project that's being built. So unfortunately, the project got approved before they put in their new rules. So Shelby County has a 660-foot setback. It's kind of a weird number. We found out today it was something about half the distance of confined cattle, something. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But anyway,
Hmm.
so they have a 660 now. But in 2019, when the solar project got approved, they did not have that. They only had 150 foot from the property line or something. Now, the solar company did, in fact, come back, and they gave them 150 foot off property line or 300 foot from the dwelling. And so they're getting that built right now. And I don't know if anybody has went out and looked at my post recently that I put up. It shows from Posey County, where we went, what 300 foot looks like from your house. And it's pretty close. You know, that it's just too close, I think. I mean, that's, everybody has an opinion on it, and my opinion is that it's entirely too close. But back to Shelby County. So they got this solar. It's already sold. It's changed hands. It's not even done. It was supposed to be done in 22. It's not even halfway done yet. So they got shut down because of some drainage issues. So it's just not a cakewalk when this happens. There's lots of things that can go wrong and things that can happen. So we also visited, there's another one called Bellflower Solar, and it's in Rush Henry County. And I told you, I'm not against solar. So for me, this plant that they have built there is probably one of the better solar industrial solar facilities that there is. It does not affect but maybe 15 people at the most. And majority of those people are in with the project. So it's really good. It's in an area that's, kind of like all together, unlike ours, which impacts, well up into the hundreds of people, close to 200. And it's spread out, like a sort of like a banana. Well, it's right here behind me if you can see it. So it's it's spread out, and so it affects a lot more people. So so we got 2 different kind of tastes there, looking at 2 different projects. So, and it's interesting if anybody, like, it's easy to sit and look at the stuff and see what people say online about it, but it really brings things to reality when you go and you see this and how big they are. So
Gotcha. So you said that was behind you. Are those kind of the proposed
yeah, the
areas in
blue,
Clark County?
yes, the blue
Okay, so
areas.
pretty
Yeah.
spread out. And then in the current UDO, are there any limitations? I mean, what is there a limit to the
No,
number of solar
no,
projects we could have on agricultural land?
no. And that's something that we did kind of talk about in the committee. And something that we, I felt like we were, getting somewhere with that at about a 6,000 acre cap, for the county. So there's still a few other little things to hash out with that, but that gives enough for the 2 projects, I believe, that are kind of in the works, so to speak. But and then maybe we should evaluate how that goes before we say, "Ooh, let's bring in some more." So I think I think 6,000 is a reasonable number for right now. So and I think everybody on the committee kind of was, in agreement with that as well. So.
Gotcha. Okay, so Wednesday is definitely an open meeting. The Plan Commission is an open meeting. Anybody can go. Do you know if the public will be able to see the two proposals? Because you said Brian was gonna have the two examples, or that's
Yeah.
probably, I'm guessing maybe not open to the public because he's gonna present it,
And
and
that's,
that's not necessarily moving forward.
yeah, I think maybe after Wednesday, obviously we'll be able to share all of that information with everybody. I mean, I wouldn't see why not, but we have not up until the meeting, until after the meeting. So, but I think that that's kind of what Brian's going to do, and that's why I think it's important for everybody to be there so they can see what we have been working on. So that it, like I said, it has been fruitful. We have done some, we have reached some agreements, but just the setbacks is the big thing. So that's a major topic. So.
Okay, is there anything else that we need to cover before we hop off of here? And it's not done. Your work is not going to be done on Wednesday. It's not like show up and we'll figure it all out then. This is going to be something we're all going to have to follow through with. We don't want to look back 50 years from now and say that, we didn't pay attention or we weren't involved.
And that's the thing is looking at those people up there where we went to at Shelby. So that solar company came in and they have those setbacks. And if those setbacks were so great at 300, then we have to ask ourselves, why are they looking at changing that? And there's been other counties across the state of Indiana that have done the same thing. They had a solar company come in and then they're like, oh, wait a minute, this has caused so much uh, feedback, or I don't know what the word would be, like the community is just not happy and they don't think the setbacks are far enough. So they went back and they've changed those. I think Delaware has a moratorium. There's quite a few of the counties that have moratoriums that are doing the same thing that we're doing. They've put together a committee, they're trying to work together. Like I said, I'm now like I said, there's a lot of people who no solar, no solar, and I think that we can get this done, in a way that is respectful to the adjacent landowners, and still let the guys who are gonna make a lot of money, let them still make a lot of money, and that's the way it should be. It's their property. They should be able to do that. But I have a hard time when what you're doing is infringing on everybody else. And they say property values, that's something that probably we are not going to get, that we were hoping to get added to the UDO. They can give me study after study that tells me that it doesn't affect it, but common sense tells me that if I'm surrounded by solar, my marketability for my property has just gone down. So and now we are seeing some of that. I've talked to a guy up at Lafayette, and he's a realtor, and he said that he had a client come and look at a property, and they saw the solar panels, and they just turned around and went away. So that's those are the things that I'm concerned about. That, and like I said, my granddaughter's backyard. So I just whether they deem it safe or not, I just don't think that I want them playing 300 feet from something like that. So
Definitely changes the agricultural landscape, changes
yes,
the
yes,
scenery of the country
yeah.
that many people in Clark County are used to out in those areas.
Yeah.
And then we will not go into all the potential hazards and risks because there are lots of things online that people can find.
Mhm.
We could go on all night about that.
Yes, we
So I
could.
hope that people are just educating themselves in different areas of why this could be a problem and why it really is important to look into because there isn't adequate research. So the concerns are very real. And then does this
Comfort.
UDO?
Sorry. Yeah,
Oh, I was
comfort.
just gonna say, does it
Yeah.
include the batteries? The batteries I
No.
hear are very,
Yeah.
so battery storage is a separate thing and we're not
Separate
gonna
thing.
worry about that.
We asked for that. We asked for that. That was kind of thrown out. I personally think that the best system needs its own ordinance. It needs to have its own. It's a whole lot. There's a whole lot involved when that comes in, and it's our understanding that these two projects are not going to use the battery storage system. So that's a good thing, you know. So, but I think that needs its whole an ordinance all to itself. But you were talking about that's the thing that bothers me is there's no comprehensive 30-year studies that I have found, and the studies that I do find, they'll use the word assumption or assumed, you know, tons of times, and I just don't want to assume that it's okay, you know. So, but that also, you know, people can go out online and they can see everything they want to see, but that's why we went there, because I think it's important that you find your own information, you know. And I can get online and watch videos of, you know, how they're, you know, drilling those things and making all this noise and whatever. But I needed to be there. And that's why we've made these trips. You know, Posey was, that was a long trip. That was a long ways. And, but it was important for us to be able to say, you know, it wasn't just hearsay. We were there and we saw it. And like I said, I encourage, if people haven't been out there, to look at those videos, to go look at them. The noise, I will say, is not something that, it's construction. So that's not the noise that it's going to make, you know, after it's installed. But just the construction alone is, I mean, we're in an agricultural area here. And granted, people build houses, people build barns, but it doesn't take them 14 months to do that. And you don't hear it from 6 in the morning till 7 at night, you know. So that changing this agriculture to industrial is a huge, huge difference.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay. Well, I really appreciate you and the other two who are taking all these trips, because you all are not getting paid for any of this. I mean, this is strictly for love of your county and your
Yes.
agricultural land. And
Oh,
I don't know how many hundreds of hours you all have dedicated to this endeavor. So I really, really appreciate you doing that on behalf of everybody. And hopefully we
thank you.
can back you all up as far as just being involved. Whatever side of the fence you land on, just, you know, everybody get involved.
Yes, yes, that's what I'd say. Just, you know, if you're not involved, then you don't know. You know, you can't. You have to be there to understand what's going on. So, just that's all I can say is Wednesday, 5 o'clock. So,
Okay, we'll see you there.
all right. Thanks, Caitlin.